God bless you all, and thank you for once again tuning in to the Bible reading in chronological order. I just want to remind everyone that you haven't missed anything. We are busy in the book of Job, yes, but we stopped at Genesis chapter 11 and then moved on to the book of Job because we think and we believe that the book of Job was written much earlier on. And so when we're looking at it and we're trying to get things in the way the events happened and in chronological order, then we sort of insert Job during the time of the patriarchs. So let's get into today's overview. We're going to be looking from chapter 10 to chapter 13 today. And within the book of Job, as we saw yesterday and we looked at it, we cannot forget the core theme of the book of Job. And this core theme is summarized in this little diagram where you have the human action on the one side, God's justice, whatever human action would incur God's justice on the other side. So if you're wise and you're good, then from God you would receive success and reward. And if you are evil and foolish, then you would receive destruction and punishment. And that's the way we view things, and that's the way we are taught that things work, and to a large degree it does. But in the book of Job, this thought is sort of being challenged to some degree. And as we go further up to chapters 31, we're going to battle and we're going to turmoil between that. Once we get past chapter 31, from 32 onwards, then we'll see what the Lord is actually trying to tell humanity and what the Lord is telling us about His justice and how His justice actually works. So remember this, and don't forget the theme, because there's beautiful imagery and poetry in here. Do not forget the main theme though. So let's just look at chapter 10 now. Let's go through that. Job continues his response now from chapter 9, but now he's addressing the Lord directly. He asks God why God would do this thing to him if God created him. Lord, you created me. Why am I going through such? Why are you persecuting me in such a way? And then he pleads his innocence before God once again. He posits that he is righteous, and why is this thing happening? And then he does a very strange thing. Job requests respite for the little life he has left. Lord, just stop punishing me for the little bit of life I have left. Which is so strange, because we can see here that there is something wrong with our picture of wise and good equals success and reward, and evil and foolish equals destruction and punishment. And you can see Job is fighting this battle internally. He can't comprehend what's going on. Remember, and as we've said, Job doesn't know what's happening in the heavenly realm. He can only see what's happening on the earth in his own life. Then we move on to chapter 11. Now this is the first charge of Zophar. And Zophar, because of his understanding of how God's justice works, he just accuses Job of lying. He doesn't challenge that there's a different way of thinking. He doesn't think that there is some secret sin that Job is hiding, or that Job doesn't know about, that he's being punished for. All he can think of, Job, you are just lying. And then in chapter 12, Job actually gives a rebuttal to Zophar. And he takes Zophar's words very harshly, with much indignation. Job posits that the wicked often prosper, so Zophar doesn't even know what he's talking about. And he speaks about God's wisdom then and his omnipotency. Now this is strange, because Job often goes into the spells where at one point he's crying to the Lord and saying, why are you doing this to me? Why are you so unfair? And then the next minute he's praising the Lord for the Lord's greatness. And he just can't get out of that. So when you're reading this, when you're reading through it, take into account what has happened to this man and that he cannot see in the heavenly realm. And then it will start to make sense as to what he's going through. And I think that that's really important, especially once we get to chapter 32. Remember what Job is actually going through from a human perspective. Then we get to chapter 13, and in chapter 13, Job just reproves his friends for creating a false narrative. You guys do not know what you are talking about. Then Job warns them that God will punish them for lying about him. Now, that we often miss in the book of Job, but this is something that Job warns his friends about. And then, again, Job professes his confidence in God, that if God is righteous, then he will relieve me of the suffering, that sort of thing. So when we're looking at it, let's just, I hope you enjoy the reading today, but let's just understand it from a human perspective, from a real life perspective, because this is what's happening to Job at this moment. This is where we're going to leave it off for today. I pray that the Lord would bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you. The Lord lift up his countenance toward you and give you peace. God bless you as you enjoy the reading of his word today.
Chapter 10. My soul is weary of my life. I will leave my complaint upon myself. I will speak in the bitterness of my soul. I will say unto God, do not condemn me. Show me wherefore thou contendest with me. Is it good unto thee that thou shouldest oppress, that thou shouldest despise the work of thine hands, and shine upon the counsel of the wicked? Hast thou eyes of flesh, or seest thou as man seeth? Are thy days as the days of man? Are thy years as man's days, that thou inquirest after mine iniquity, and searchest after my sin? Thou knowest that I am not wicked, and there is none that can deliver out of thine hand. Thine hands have made me, and fashioned me together round about. Yet thou dost destroy me. Remember, I beseech thee, that thou hast made me as the clay, and wilt thou bring me into dust again? Hast thou not poured me out as milk, and curdled me like cheese? Thou hast clothed me with skin and flesh, and hast fenced me with bones and sinews. Thou hast granted me life and favour, and thy visitation hath preserved my spirit. And these things hast thou hid in thine heart? I know that this is with thee. If I sin, then thou mockest me, and thou wilt not acquit me from mine iniquity. If I be wicked, woe unto me, and if I be righteous, yet will I not lift up my head. I am full of confusion. Therefore see thou mine affliction, for it increaseth. Thou huntest me as a fierce lion, and again thou showest thyself marvellous upon me. Thou renewest thy witnesses against me, and increasest thine indignation upon me. Changes and war are against me. Wherefore then hast thou brought me forth out of the womb? Oh, that I had given up the ghost, and no eye had seen me. I should have been as though I had not been. I should have been carried from the womb to the grave. Are not my days few? Cease then, and let me alone, that I may take comfort a little, before I go whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death, a land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death, without any order, and where the light is as darkness. Chapter 11. Then answered Zophar the Naamathite, and said, Should not the multitude of words be answered, and should a man full of talk be justified? Should thy lies make men hold their peace? And when thou mockest, shall no man make thee ashamed? For thou hast said, My doctrine is pure, and I am clean in thine eyes. But oh, that God would speak and open his lips against thee, and that he would show thee the secrets of wisdom, that they are double to that which is. Know therefore that God exacteth of thee less than thine iniquity deserveth. Canst thou by searching find out God? Canst thou find out the Almighty unto perfection? It is as high as heaven. What canst thou do? Deeper than hell. What canst thou know? The measure thereof is longer than the earth, and broader than the sea. If he cut off and shut up, or gather together, then who can hinder him? For he knoweth vain men. He seeth wickedness also. Will he not then consider it? For vain man would be wise, though man be born like a wild ass's colt. If thou prepare thine heart, and stretch out thine hands toward him, if iniquity be in thine hand, put it far away, and let not wickedness dwell in thy tabernacles. For then shalt thou lift up thy face without spot, yea, thou shalt be steadfast, and shalt not fear. Because thou shalt forget thy misery, and remember it as waters that pass away, and thine age shall be clearer than the noonday. Thou shalt shine forth, thou shalt be as the morning. And thou shalt be secure, because there is hope. Yea, thou shalt dig about thee, and thou shalt take thy rest in safety. Also thou shalt lie down, and none shall make thee afraid. Yea, many shall make suit unto thee. But the eyes of the wicked shall fail, and they shall not escape, and their hope shall be as the giving up of the ghost. Chapter 12. And Job answered and said, No doubt but ye are the people, and wisdom shall die with you. But I have understanding as well as you. I am not inferior to you. Yea, who knoweth not such things as these? I am as one mocked of his neighbour, who calleth upon God, and he answereth him. The just, upright man is laughed to scorn. He that is ready to slip with his feet is as a lamp despised in the thought of him that is at ease. The tabernacles of robbers prosper, and they that provoke God are secure, into whose hand God bringeth abundantly. But ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of the air, and they shall tell thee. Or speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee, and the fishes of the sea shall declare unto thee. Who knoweth not in all these that the hand of the Lord hath wrought this, in whose hand is the soul of every living thing, and the breath of all mankind? Doth not the ear try words, and the mouth taste his meat? With the ancient is wisdom, and in length of days understanding. With him is wisdom and strength. He hath counsel and understanding. Behold, he breaketh down, and it cannot be built again. He shutteth up a man, and there can be no opening. Behold, he withholdeth the waters, and they dry up. Also he sendeth them out, and they overturn the earth. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. He leadeth counselors away spoiled, and he maketh the judges fools. He looseth the bond of kings, and girdeth their loins with a girdle. He leadeth princes away spoiled, and overthroweth the mighty. He removeth away the speech of the trusty, and taketh away the understanding of the aged. He poureth contempt upon princes, and weakeneth the strength of the mighty. He discovereth deep things out of darkness, and bringeth out to light the shadow of death. He increaseth the nations, and destroyeth them. He enlargeth the nations, and straightheneth them again. He taketh away the heart of the chief of the people of the earth, and causeth them to wander in a wilderness where there is no way. They grope in the dark without light, and he maketh them to stagger like a drunken man. Chapter 13. Lo, mine eye hath seen all this, mine ear hath heard and understood it. What ye know, the same do I know also. I am not inferior unto you. Surely I would speak to the Almighty, and I desire to reason with God. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. Oh, that ye would altogether hold your peace, and it should be your wisdom. Hear now my reasoning, and hearken to the pleadings of my lips. Will ye speak wickedly for God, and talk deceitfully for him? Will ye accept his person? Will ye contend for God? Is it good that he should search you out? Or as one man mocketh another, do ye so mock him? He will surely reprove you, if ye do secretly accept persons. Shall not his excellency make you afraid, and his dread fall upon you? Your remembrances are like unto ashes, your bodies to bodies of clay. Hold your peace, let me alone that I may speak, and let come on me what will. Wherefore do I take my flesh in my teeth, and put my life in mine hand? Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him. But I will maintain mine own ways before him. He also shall be my salvation, for an hypocrite shall not come before him. Hear diligently my speech and my declaration with your ears. Behold now, I have ordered my cause. I know that I shall be justified. Who is he that will plead with me? For now if I hold my tongue, I shall give up the ghost. Only do not two things unto me, then will I not hide myself from thee. Withdraw thine hand far from me, and let not thy dread make me afraid. Then call thou, and I will answer. Or let me speak, and answer thou me. How many are mine iniquities and sins? Make me to know my transgression and my sin. Wherefore hidest thou thy face, and holdest me for thine enemy? Wilt thou break a leaf driven to and fro? And wilt thou pursue the dry stubble? For thou writest bitter things against me, and makest me to possess the iniquities of my youth. Thou puttest my feet also in the stocks, and lookest narrowly unto all my paths. Thou settest a print upon the heels of my feet. And he, as a rotten thing, consumeth, as a garment that is moth-eaten.